All right, welcome back to the Virtue Bowling Supply YouTube channel. My name is Chris and I'm here to bring the high rev perspective.
And my name is Josh and I will be bringing the low rev perspective.
Today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new DV8 Montra Solid, and I'm going to be comparing that to the RST Hyperdrive and the Theorem Solid.
And I'll be comparing it to the Guru Oracle and the Theorem Solid. These comparisons will give us and you an idea of what these pieces look like going down the lane. At the end, we will give our honest and unbiased review anywhere from nuts to trash. Today we are here on a transitioned house shot at Mesa East. With that being said, make sure to like and subscribe and we'll see you out on the lanes.
All right, after seeing the DV8 Montra Solid going down the lane, this one is very strong and very early, but I do think it's pretty versatile. I had to move a little bit further left just because of the slightly transitioned house shot that we're bowling on. Being able to still shape it a little bit, I think I had one where it went a little too forward on me in pocket 710, but overall I was able to kind of manipulate it with my hand and get it to go through the front part of the lane and see the end of the pattern the right way, and it ultimately goes pretty forward through the pins just because of how strong it is. Shape-wise, I thought it was pretty good. Definitely liked it going down the lane. I would definitely think it looks a little bit better on something that's a little bit tougher and a little bit flatter just because of how early it is. Now I'm going to go ahead and compare that to the Theorem Solid. All right, after seeing the Theorem Solid go down the lane, this is quite a bit of a weaker shape. I feel like they fit a similar part of the bag, the stronger asymmetrical piece, but the Theorem Solid is definitely a weaker option. Definitely had to be a little bit further left. It looked a little bit better than the Montra did, just because I feel like I could shape it a little more, and with it being a little bit more transitioned out here, the Theorem Solid definitely looked a little bit better going through the pins. So now I'm gonna go ahead and compare that to the RST Hyperdrive. All right, after seeing the Hyperdrive go down the lane, this one definitely fits somewhere in between the Montra Solid and the Theorem Solid. I think it was not quite as strong as the Montra, but it definitely wanted to be a little bit earlier than the Theorem Solid. The Hyperdrive, I feel like, is a stronger ball that you can definitely shape a little bit more than others. It's definitely not quite as angular as the Theorem Solid, so it fits somewhere in between the two. Final thoughts on the Montra Solid. Here, I definitely liked the way it went down the lane. For me, I don't know if it's quite as versatile as other pieces kind of in this spot in the bag. So for me, I'm gonna have to give this one a meh. I would definitely like to see this on other patterns to see kind of how versatile it's gonna be, but today it's gonna be a meh for me.
Just wrapped up throwing 10 shots with the new Montra Solid. This ball for me, first of all, I really like the way this ball looks. I threw the first shot and I really liked the way it rolled. For me, just looking at the ball, not really looking at any specs, it felt like kind of one of those slightly bigger balls, not the biggest, but like one step down from the biggest ball type deal. I felt like I was able to keep the ball in front of me, but still had to be forward with it in order to really get it to hook early. If I got around it, it kind of missed the spot a little bit. We are on a fresher house shot here at Mesa East, so again, I still had to get it to friction at some point for it to shape the right way. If I kept it a little in, it kind of got a little lazy just from that wall of oil that was there. But really overall, like the way this ball shaped down lane, I felt like it gave me enough back end motion to really get the pins out, but I also didn't feel like it was too clean. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw 5 shots with the Radical Guru Oracle and see how it compares. Just threw 5 shots with the Radical Guru. This ball for me felt like it was kind of, like I said, that one step above the Montra. I felt like this ball was just a hair more forward and had to be a little bit more, just a hair more close with my angle. I'm talking like a board or two, but still on something like a house shot or really anything, like if you try to play in the same zone, it's not really gonna work out. I knew I had to be a little bit straighter with my angles with this one, but still read the lane well, and I still really like this ball as well. So now we're gonna go ahead and throw 5 shots with the Theorem Solid and see how it compares. Just wrapped up throwing 5 shots with a Theorem Solid. I felt like this ball was the cleanest out of all 3. I felt like it was more similar to the Montra, but almost like it had just, like it does have a little bit of lane shine, and I feel like that kind of made the difference. I felt like that allowed it to really get through the fronts a little bit easier. I also felt like it was just, like wasn't as forward as the Montra. I felt like it just got down the lane a little bit easier, and it was just a touch more angular, but I'm being very picky. But again, like something where all 3 of these balls, you wouldn't need all 3, you'd only really need 1 in your bag. So Theorem, again, just a smidge cleaner than the Montra. Final thoughts on the Montra Solid. I haven't thrown this line in the past, but I really did like the way this one rolled going down the lane. I felt like it gave me a little bit of miss room in actually both directions because it was just a smidge cleaner than the normal big ball. I felt like when I missed in, it actually got off spot. Same thing when I got it to the friction, I felt like it was able to push just a little bit before it really wanted to, you know, change direction. So this is one of those balls that I would really like to see more in the future, want to get more shots with it just to kind of learn a little bit more about it. But so far, I really like the shape that it's given me. So with that being said, final rating for this one is going to have to be a fire. I felt like this ball, again, gave me a little bit of miss room in both directions and struck a really good amount. It wasn't the best ball I've ever thrown, but again, I really like the shape that it gave me.
Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this video useful, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.